RFK and Tlachinollan's partnership. On November the 19th, 2010, Abel Barrera Hernandez, founder and director of Tlachinollan Human Rights Center from Guerrero, Mexico, received the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Award for his determined efforts to end human rights abuses resulting from military impunity and narco-violence. The award was presented by Mrs. Ethel Kennedy and her daughter, Miss Carrie Kennedy, president of the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights. With the award, the Human Rights Center of the Montaña, Tlachinollan, and the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights initiated a close and intense partnership to work in favor of indigenous and rural communities of the Montaña region in Guerrero. August 2011, the first visit. Some men see things the way they are and ask, why? I dream of things that never were and ask, why not? Robert F. Kennedy, paraphrasing George Bernard Shaw. From August the 1st to August the 6th, 2011, a Robert F. Kennedy Center delegation, headed by Carrie Kennedy, visited Mexico for the first time to witness the field of work of Tlachinollan. During their stay in Guerrero, they met Inés Fernández Ortega and members of the Organization of Mepa Indigenous Peoples in Ayutla de los Libres, who are leading an important work for the defense of human rights in indigenous communities in the region. The RFK delegation visited as well the office of Tlachinollan in Ayutla de los Libres, Guerrero, which was just reopened 2 months earlier. The office remained closed for 2 years as a consequence of the received aggressions and threats against the team and indigenous colleagues and leaders because of their work in the region. Furthermore, the RFK met up with indigenous leaders such as Maximino Garcia Catarino, a human rights defender from the Nasawi community. Maximino was detained on January the 21st, 2012, 5 months after the visit of the RFK delegation. Maximino was arbitrarily arrested in his house by members of the Ministerial Investigative Police of the Attorney General's Office of the State of Guerrero, falsely accused of a crime he did not commit. During their visit on August 2011, the RFK delegation also visited the Mininuma community located in the municipality of Mitlatunok, close to Tlapa. There they got to know from the Nasawi community the organizational process that has been put in place in order to defend their human right to access health services. Additionally, they visited the community Chapatlawak, where they met women and men who shared their testimony regarding the lack of access to basic services, especially health and education. In addition, the RFK delegation met with federal and state authorities, such as the governor of the state of Guerrero, the secretary of government, the secretary of public security, and the attorney general at the local level. The first visit of the RFK Center was followed by various media, to whom the president of the RFK Center stressed out that the partnership with Tlachinollan started in 2010. CRFK Gala Ripple of Hope, December 2011. In the same year, on December the 5th, 2011, the RFK Center celebrated its annual gala Ripple of Hope in New York. During this gala, the RFK Center reiterated the accompaniment of Tlachinollan for 6 years.
For 30 years, Carrie Kennedy has crisscrossed the globe, leading human rights delegations to over 40 countries, advocating for free expression, women's rights, environmental justice, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2010 RFK Human Rights Award laureate Abel Barrera Hernandez.
Los hombres y las mujeres de las nubes, como se autonombran los habitantes del pueblo Ñunsabi de la costa montaña de Guerrero, nos han demostrado por más de 5 siglos que tienen una dignidad inquebrantable.
During the Scala, Abel Barrera offered his gratitude to the people on our side who perceive themselves as brothers and sisters in solidarity with the aims for which indigenous communities of the Montaña are fighting for.
Thank you, Abel, for your courage and your grace.
Second RFK visit, March 2012, Nuevo Zaragoza and Juquila. The second visit of the Robert F. Kennedy Center to Guerrero was carried out from April the 5th to April the 10th, 2012. The delegation, headed once again by Kerry Kennedy, was accompanied by Go Campaign, members of the donating committee of the RFK Center, journalists and close friends of the center. During the visit, the delegation had a meeting with the family of Bonfilio Rubio Villegas, a young indigenous Nahua man extrajudicially executed by members of the Mexican army in 2009. This case was brought to the Supreme Court of the nation, which ordered in 2012 that the army should hand over the investigation on the case to the civil courts and recognize the relatives' rights as victims to challenge through an amparo the illegal extension of military jurisdiction in the case. The delegation, led by the RFK Center, also visited the Nasawi communities of Nuevo Zaragoza and Juquila, where they could witness the lack of access to quality and culturally appropriate education for children living in these communities. From this meeting on, the RFK Center, Go Campaign and Tlachinollan have united their forces to accompany these and other indigenous communities in the Montaña of Guerrero to construct a place together where children of the Montaña have access to different tools in order to make their dreams come true. During their journey from Ayutla de los Libres to Chilpancingo, the delegation was arbitrarily stopped at the Mexican checkpoint. The words given by the soldier, "I'm the authority, I have the power," were the trigger of the article, "Get your boot out of my neck," written by Kerry Kennedy and published by a national newspaper. Since 2010, the RFK Center accompanies diverse processes of the work of Tlachinollan, such as the implementation of these sentences ordered by the Inter-American Court of Human Rights in favor of Inés Fernández and Valentina Rosendo. Their continuous presence in important activities for us has been crucial, such as the reopening of our office in Ayutla, their presence at the public acts of the Mexican state's recognition of international responsibility, the first one for Valentina Rosendo Cantú on December the 15th, 2011 in Mexico City, and the second for Inés Fernández Ortega on March the 6th, 2012 in Ayutla de los Libres, Guerrero. In addition, the support has been constant even from far distance. For example, Kerry Kennedy addressed a letter to the governor of Guerrero in which she asked to consider retracting the presented accusations against Mr. Maximino Garcia Catarino on March 2012. After 4 days, on March the 20th, 2012, the Court of the State of Guerrero withdrew the charges against the defender Maximino Garcia Catarino and set him free. Kerry and the delegation joined him and Tlachinollan in his journey back to his community. 2013 is the third visit of the RFK delegation. We sure hope these will continue.